And this is where there's a lot of work to do on your money mindset here.
There is. And then, of course, you've got stuff like, what's the value behind the service? You know, that's a whole other subject, really, when it comes down to pricing, isn't it? Because in my case, I was like, not only do the fees need to increase, I also am not happy with the service that I'm offering. So therefore, I'm creating something new. And in creating something new, they're getting a better result. Therefore, those fees have to increase, because I cannot give, like, I can't give all of that awesome stuff for the fee that I had before, because it literally physically doesn't work. And I will be losing out. So we always talk about win-wins. So that would be a massive lose on my part, a win for the client if I just made that whole experience better, but everything's like the same for me. So I suppose that's another kind of spin-off, really, but it links into this quite nicely, because if you want to do better and you have that like desire to just keep getting better results and doing better for you and having a better life for you, then that's also what you need to start looking at, is what is it that you offer currently? Do you feel like it's the best it can possibly be? Or do you need to start looking at what's happening within that service and maybe creating something brand new? And then you have a brand new pricing structure. And then would you feel better about increasing those fees? For me, when I changed it totally, and I literally ripped it apart, didn't I? And just created something so far removed from what I had that I was like, I feel so comfortable putting it that premium price, because it's a premium service now, whereas before it was a scratty service and it warranted that price tag in my eyes. Yes, okay, it should have been more, but it was never going to be drastically more, because that wouldn't have sat right with me. So my mindset shifted because I was able to see the value behind it, and therefore someone is going to get a much better outcome from working with me. So it's that kind of mindset shift, I think.
Yeah, it is, because you've got to have that attachment to it. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I think sometimes, I think this is where business coaching can get a bad rep of just increase your fees and then everything's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, because if you've got a shit product or service and you increase your fees, then no, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for you, and it's not a good thing for the client. It's not that win-win situation. So you have to be so confident that what you're, regardless as to what ticket price this is as well. Like if you're selling something for a tenner, have faith and confidence that you are giving somebody a result. Whatever the result is, you assign a result to that service, and there's the value. So it doesn't matter what the price point is, but knowing how to price your service, definitely look first at those initial need numbers. Like, what do you actually need to live, and how many do you need to sell? And then how many inquiries are you getting? Like, they're all kind of compartmentalized in a box together.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Didn't make sense in my head, but I said it anyway. So all of those things are kind of attached. And then it's a case of looking at going, right, okay, how can we split it into like a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy then? Because if you're in Schitt's Creek, which for me, I technically was, because I'd got to the point in my job where I was like, I'm done now. I'm out. I'm like, and I had a 6-month notice period. So like, I had my notice in now. I've got 6 months to try and turn this around, and also do a massive handover for work and make the figures work, because in 6 months' time, I've got no income. Or maybe I'm bringing in like 700 quid because I could still sell the odd thing on the side. So really looking at, okay, so now I need to look at a lead gen strategy, because for me, I was going from a hobby business into a full-time business. So I was like, well, how am I going to do that? And that's a whole other conversation we can have. But that's where I went down that paid route initially, because I haven't got time to think about what I want to do. I definitely fell more into that general practitioner role, but focusing on the teaching side. Like, I really enjoyed that. So I was going to say all my messaging, I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Like there was no social media presence. I don't know if like social, I mean, obviously it was there, wasn't it? But it's not like it is today.
No, it wasn't a massive, it was more about the social aspect then, wasn't it?
It definitely wasn't like a front runner in your head to go, oh, that's where I should be putting.
I never put a huge amount of focus on social media ever for my dog training business.
I don't think I did, you know. I think it was still very much Google My Business and website and SEO and all that side of it. So yeah, I just ploughed so much money into that. I think I probably spent 15 grand on getting a website done and SEO and Google ads and going on
It's
Bark.
so funny, isn't it? Because listening to that, that's the beginning of your, the infancy of your dog training business. And that's where your focus was. And mine was literally get out in my local area and speak to as many people as I can, put as many posters up, get in with the vets. Like all of that stuff was that way that I started that business. And it was a lot. It was a graft.
Yeah.
And I would allocate time every single week to get out there. And even back then, there weren't that many people doing it. Like I would say in my town, there was probably like 3 other dog trainers and that was it. And yet I'm still out there. I'm still like going, I'm brand new. No one knows anything about me. I'm a nobody. I need to get out. So like, I just find that really interesting that your immediate kind of starting point was that. And my immediate starting point was doing it a completely different way, but both ways work.